This video is about solving literal inequalities. So with literal inequalities, we're going to have more than one variable. So when we're solving, we're just working on doing our inverse operations to get one of the variables by itself. So in number one, it wants us to solve for x, which means anything that's by x needs to move to the other side. So we have a minus y. Remember that the opposite of minus y is plus y. So we're going to add y to both sides. So we get x is greater than z plus y. In number two, it says solve for g. So we have g divided by h is less than or equal to k. So we're going to multiply by h on both sides. And we get g is less than or equal to kh. Number three, we want to solve for m. So in order to solve for m, our first step is that we're going to subtract n from both sides. So we get mp is less than q minus n. Then to get m by itself, we're going to divide everything by p. So we get m is less than q over p minus n over p. Now, because they're all different variables, there's nothing to really reduce, so that's as simplified as we can get. In number four, we're going to solve for w. So in order to solve for w, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the negative 2x by adding it to both sides. Now, because 7x and 2x are like terms, those can be combined together. So we get 3wy is greater than or equal to 9x. Remember that we're trying to get w by itself. So there's a 3 and a y multiplying with it. So we can divide by both of them in the same step. So we get w is greater than or equal to. Now, these numbers, 9 and 3, can be reduced because 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we're going to have 3 on the top and a 1 on the bottom, which we don't have to write since we have something still in the denominator as the y. So remember to reduce your numbers if possible anywhere. Number 5, solve for v. So the first thing we're going to do is we have 5v divided by w, so we're going to move w by multiplying on both sides. So we get 5v is less than or equal to negative 15zw. To get v by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 5, which remember means we can reduce these numbers. So negative 15 divided by 5 gets us negative 3zw. Number 6, solve for y. So in number 6, we're going to subtract 3m from both sides. And there's already a 9m, which was a like term, so we can subtract those together, and we get y is greater than 6m minus 11. Now in the last couple of problems, we're going to focus on solving for y. So in number 7, we have a 5 in front of the y. So we're going to divide everything by 5. And we get y is less than 7/5 x minus 3. Number 8, we have y minus 11 is greater than or equal to 4x. So to get y by itself, we're going to add 11 to both sides. Now remember that 4x and 11 are not like terms, so they're just going to get written next to each other, 4x plus 11. In number 9, we have 3x minus 6y is less than or equal to 12. So in order to solve, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, just like when it was an equal sign and we were graphing. So we have negative 6x is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 12. Remember, we want to get our equation in y equals mx plus b form, so we want x first and the number second. Now, because it's an inequality, when we divide by negative 6, everything gets divided by negative 6 because this was a negative 6. And we need to switch the inequality symbol. Remember, anytime you divide by a negative number, you have to switch your inequality symbol. So we get y is greater than or equal to, when I reduce this, negative 3 divided by negative 6 is 1/2, because I can take a negative 3 out of both, x minus 2. In our last one, number 10, we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. 5y is less than negative 4x minus 35. Then to get y by itself, we're going to divide everything by 5. Now, because we divide by a positive number this time, we're not going to switch our symbol, so it's still y is less than. Negative 4 divided by 5 doesn't reduce, so we just leave that as a fraction, x. And negative 35 divided by 5 is negative 7.